Hi, dog. So we have this index indicator, not indicator, this index bot, which shows you guys bullish and bearish divergences on both the RSI and the OBV on these indicators. And if you were unsure how to use those, look at the two cheat sheets that I just sent you, because those will explain the indicators. And as we go along now, after I explain these indicators, I'll be sharing these in the gold chat when we receive them, so we can all go over them together. But let's take a look here. They will show you 4-hour divergences. So the cards, just for the sake of like memory inside the Discord, are gone, but it would show you the 4-hour bullish divergence and a 4-hour bearish divergence. Now this is on total. Total is the total market cap of crypto. So Bitcoin, ETH, and all altcoins into a chart, an index chart. And this is just going to show you an overall chart of everything. So if you're getting a 4-hour bearish or bullish divergence on this chart, that's showing you that the overall momentum of the market is slowing down or moving in the opposite direction for bullish. So sellers are losing momentum or buyers are losing momentum. You can see what happens. Like, you don't get these all that often, but when you do, they're very powerful. They mark out significant bottoms and tops. And as everything, they don't always, but they have a very high hit rate of doing that. So you can see here, this was a 4-hour bullish divergence on total. So the total market cap of all crypto was making a bullish divergence on the 4-hour, right? RSI is making a higher low, while your price is making a lower low. And you can see what happened, right? The entire market, it doesn't matter if you long Bitcoin, ETH, or any single coin in the market, right? Like, this index went up 20%. That's crazy. Now you can see here again at the top, we start to lose momentum. And you get the bearish divergence. So your price makes a higher high and your RSI makes a lower high. And you can see what happened, right? Like, a lot of chop ensued, but like, this was the top since, January 20th. But, you caught a nice move off that down another 6%. Again, could have shorted anything in the market. And so these are very good high time frame indicators from the bot that we use that are going to show you when things are happening, right? And you can see USDT is the index showing you the stablecoin, like the market cap of stablecoins basically inside the market. So if this is going up, people are moving into stables. If this is going down, people are moving out of stables. Like, this works opposite. So if this is going up, crypto's generally going down. If this is going down, crypto's generally going up. So you can see the inverse of total. Here we had the bullish divergence on the 13th, and inversely we had the USDT bearish divergence, and vice versa, right? So these are good charts to keep an eye on. You can use these intraday, and I do use these intraday, but for the sake of showing you just kind of the bot that we offer, you can look for these 4-hour divergences, and I'll start to call them out as very good indications of a potential top or potential bottom, right? Like, if you are getting this bullish divergence here and you're short, the least you can do is take some profits because the market is showing a shift in dynamics, right? And you can start to look for longs and vice versa, blah, blah, blah. If you're long from down here, take profits up here when you get this, look for shorts or hedge in the market, whatever you're going to do. But yeah, we'll start using these in the gold chat more so that we can all become familiar with it. And then Bitcoin dominance, this chart shows the dominance of Bitcoin in the market over things like ETH and altcoins. And so the reason all of your alts across the market look like absolute dog shit compared to Bitcoin is because of this chart. So this chart's just absolutely fine because, we have the sovereign wealth fund with the Trump administration putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet. You have Microsoft. Just everyone is focused on Bitcoin. We're in phase 1 of the bull market, and that is a Bitcoin-led, Bitcoin-dominated phase. So all of the money, all of the capital is flowing from your precious alts and ETH, and it's going into Bitcoin as it takes market cap. And this chart is just one of the most bullish charts in crypto, right? Like this continues to go up. And you can see here, this giant explosion and this blow off top was the weekend when all the alts got absolutely destroyed, like 40%. So, I mean, hopefully this is topping out here and we start to trend down. But once you actually see this trend down and if you see something like us break this like significant trend line here and start to close below here, right? Like when this chart tops out, that's when you get alt season. That's when ETH BTC finally bottoms out. That's when all of your alts actually start to get the capital rotation from Bitcoin into ETH and into them. And that's when things actually start to get crazy. But if you guys ever have any questions on these indexes as well, like shoot them in the gold chat. They can be a bit confusing when you first get into crypto and you first start looking at these things, and the correlation between them all can be a bit confusing. But we'll go over that all together. We'll keep our eyes on these indexes. We'll call them out when they come up, and we'll just continue to add this as another tool to you guys' toolbox that you can use to better understand the markets on a higher time frame perspective. Now, I use Total and Total 2 on like an intraday perspective as well, and I can start sharing those in the gold chat for how you can view these and stuff. So it's kind of an overview on indexes. Just want to ask if anyone has any questions, if there's any confusion, if there's anything you want me to go over, just let me know in the chat. At the very least, using total and total 2 as like an indication of the levels for intraday is super valuable. Yeah, I'll see what I got on my total 2 chart here. So total 2, this is what I'm looking at the moment. Total 2 is an index showing you ETH and altcoins, excluding Bitcoin. And for me, we're coming into support here as well as support below. And for me, this was a supply zone on this index. And you can see we rejected, put in a lower high, and just been trending down since. So using this index, after we pumped up, we'll go to the 2 hours so you can see. So you can see this was the supply, the last supply block before that giant impulse moved down. So this is a very important level. And you can see we pumped all the way back into it, and it's acting as it should. It's acting as resistance, right? So this is continuing to trend lower and lower. And for me, an indication to get long for continuation would have been a flip of this level or higher. And now I'm looking for longs in this area here and this area below, right? Sweep of these wicks into this level and this level here. So those are my intraday thoughts on the total 2. And this is how I'll use it to have a general understanding of basically just where I want to get long, where I want to get short, or kind of the areas of the market that I'm looking at. And I'll just correspond it every day. I'll look at this and my Bitcoin and ETH chart, take a look, and you can see here, these 2 rejections, we go back into a Bitcoin chart, right? Happens here. Your first, so you go into the H2 supply on alts, you're corresponding with this daily resistance. The second lower high, you're corresponding with losing this resistance and retesting it, right? So it just goes to show you how you can like kind of correlate these charts to get an understanding. Now we're coming into a bound zone here, and we look at Bitcoin, and we have bound zones in here to try and hold, and if not, we can go lower into the daily support here. So that's how I use the total 2, and I can send in updates into the gold chat and whatnot as we go along. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Okay, so let's move on to Monday range bot now. I want to see, let me know in the chat how many of you guys actually utilize the Monday range bot every single week or often or at all. This bot, I mean, gives so many opportunities. It's crazy. And if you don't know about it, then I'll get you familiar right now. Dive in here. So the Monday range bot is a really sick bot, and it's literally just an indicator. That's free. It's just this here. So when you go into indicators, just type in spaceman, and it's just this key levels spaceman, 7.8K. You just put that on. You can do all types of levels. You can do 4 hour, you can do daily, Monday range, weekly, monthly, quarterly. You can do the open, the highs, the lows, all of that. So for the sake of this, we're just going to use the Monday range because that is what our bot tracks. And the Monday range forms on Monday. So this is the range given on any Monday between every coin, and it'll be the high and the low. And intraday, this acts as super, super good scalping. These levels will give multiple different opportunities, and I have videos on these as well that I'll share after this. Or if someone could go to the YouTube and share like the Monday range videos if you can find it, or even the Monday range from the education bot for those interested. But essentially, this just acts as support resistance in a sense. So if you come up and you reject the Monday range, typically you can look to target the other side. And if you flip out above it, you can look to play a continuation play with super easy validation being acceptance back inside. This is going to give you guys a shit ton of opportunities because every single coin will have a Monday high and a Monday low, and you will be notified when a high or a low is swept. So in this instance, we can see Zero Bro, after the range formed, we had a pullback, we came up, we had a sweep, and we had a beautiful SFP. Like, that is a beautiful rejection, right? At any point, you could have positioned within this block here, you know, stops above here, or acceptance above Monday high, and you could have targeted Monday's low, right? So for the sake of, so it's a bit of a wide stop, but also this coin is like so volatile that like you can play 70% stops, and even the range is 40%, like just ridiculous. But after that rejection and after these failed wicks, you can see here on the hourly, you're clearly rejecting, right? You can even have your stops above these wicks after it's all formed. But like from one side to the other, this range is ridiculous. But that alone, that sweep alone, and that notification you would have received in the Discord here. So it's the Monday range bot. And you can see here, it's just gonna show you Monday low or Monday high swept across all the alts. And just all day, every day, you're gonna get alerts in here. And you just do some general TA and you can catch scalps all day long. And we'll go over a bunch of them. But yeah, I mean, just from that one alert alone, some general TA, whether you watch this for a few hours or just took the play with stops above, could have executed on lower time frame as well, probably some other triggers. This alone is a 35% move. And your invalidation is a flip of this level. But it's not only your invalidation, because if you flip this level, I mean, like, look, you got nothing but air above here, right? Like, you have like a supply block here, which you rejected from, you swept the highs, you rejected. But it's like, if you flip this, like, you're going to cook higher for another 20, 30, 40% just as well as you went down. So the opportunities to play these are beautiful, and they'll show you actually fart coin. It's always funny seeing that. So I don't know if this actually, no, that was the high for Monday, but this is what I mean. So yesterday we had a sweep of Monday's low. This is all-time low on this coin, but we had a sweep of Monday's low and some consolidation, but all these hourly closes above. At any point, if you positioned at that Monday low, it doesn't look like a lot, but that's a damn near 10% scalp to those highs there. That's huge. Like 10% a day is massive. Like, pray for those moves. And then you can see what happened. So this acts as a level. You've lost the level after sweeping it, you did not hold the level. Okay, well, what happened? You put in a bearish retest. You didn't even close a single 15-minute candle above. And you got, so you could have shorted this. This is what I mean. You can play continuation outside of the range or a sweep of the range. So you've got this move here for 10%, holding the Monday low after the sweep, and then you lose it. Say you took your profits and you get stop break even here. Okay, you get this here, this bearish rejection, bearish retest. That's a 17% move. It's a 17% move. That's insane. Okay, you get your lower low. What do you get here? Another bearish retest and a lower high, right? So what are you expecting from here? You're expecting price to go even further. Just 3 scalps just from yesterday on this would have been 10%, 17, and who knows how far this one goes. This could be 40, 50% in unleveraged moves just from one single alert alerting you that this coin is at a level that you can play. So this Monday range bot is great for scalping. Take a look at a few more. And then, yeah, so if you combine this, so this is one of the strategies I went over in like the first stream, I think it was, or the second, I don't know. But it's a combination play where you get not only a sweep of Monday's high, and there would be an alert again, right? Like it would be like Sol Monday high swept. But you also get at the same time, that sweep is a 30-minute bearish divergence or bullish at the bottom. Like again, the bearish divergence means that you are having a shift in momentum, like buyers are slowing down. You get the sweep, you get the acceptance back inside, that confirms. So if you had, and one way that you guys can like look, we're also making a bot, first of all, that is going to give you an alert when there is, say, 2 or 3 different bot triggers on a play. So the way that there was 2 here, maybe there was an OBOS 15 or something, you're going to be alerted that, okay, Sol has 2 or 3 indications, or however we make that look. But one way you can do it is, say you've seen the 30-minute divergence first or the Monday high sweep first. All you guys have to do is literally go into here, type Sol, and you'll get every notification that was on Sol. So if it was the same day, then you would see those notifications like right away. Like this is days after, so these are all different alerts, obviously. But just go to the top corner, type in whatever coin you're looking at, and you'll be able to see, is it overbought, oversold? Is there also a divergence? Is there also a 4-hour divergence? Is there also a sweep of Monday high or low? You'll be able to see all the triggers, but that's just a little bit of alpha for those who don't know that you can do that. But yeah, if you get a sweep of Monday high or sweep of Monday low and a bearish or bullish divergence, that's like, it's a very high hit rate play. We'll just say that. Like you can take those with stops 2 or 3% above the highs and have, I don't know statistically, but like probably a 70 to 80% hit rate on those of at least getting a 1 to 2% move. And like this, for instance, right? You did come up and retest it, so you probably would have been stop break even. But before that, it's a 7.6% move. Okay, well, fails to put it right again, right? Just look at structure. You have a lower high into Monday's high, doesn't even close at all above it. That's another short opportunity if you got taken out of the next one, or your previous one. Now you've caught a 13.7% move. So you can see how powerful just like playing these levels is. Let's look at buying. Yeah, so you can see here. The first touch you would have had, again, a bearish divergence. It formed here. This was the day it formed. Monday close. Come down, you sweep, and you reject with a bearish divergence. That is a play. That's a 23% move. Like two of these moves, you've made like your weekly profit. And all you had to do, there would be 2 alerts inside the Discord. There'd be the divergence on the 30-minute time frame, but there'd also be the Monday high sweep. Okay. And now what happens when we come back? We push back above, we sweep these highs, and you can see we start to hold it, right? Like you could take the play here. It's a little bit riskier, but right here, You can see, go on lower time frames. Like you can see us fighting this level. 1 pushes down, 2 puts in a higher low, again sweeps the high over there, puts in a higher low, you know, and then flips it. You can position on that flip right here for a long. That's a 15% move, with easy validation being like just below these like structural lows here. It's a 3% move. That's like a 5-hour trade right there. It's a 5-minute time frame too. This happened in like a few hours. So you can play the flips of these levels the same way Fartcoin gave you that bearish retest. This is giving you a bullish retest and a flip after sweeping the highs over here for 15% move higher after you'd already played, you know, this here. Lower time frames too, same triggers, right? You have a 5-minute div, 30-minute div, whatever. Like you just super simple to take this play with stops like 1 or 2%, 3% above this as your invalidation. Because if you break the div, you're going to go higher and you're going to flip it the same way this happened. And then if you want, wait for the retest, play it like that. So there's that one. I'm going to blow up in. Let me see if there's any questions. So yeah, first of all, let me just ask if you guys have questions before we go over a few more examples on Monday's range. No? Straight? All right, sweet. Keep it going. So a few more examples here. This one, you can see sometimes it's not always going to give you a clean retest, but bet if we go to this, like you have crazy volume starting to pick up. Like you can see volume's dead until you get this reclaim, right? Like there's probably TA triggers over here of like some level that you're flipping and you're now closing above, and you can take like a long, because this was obviously, first of all, this was a coin that had negative funding and followed the exact trade triggers that I've been showing you guys as well. Negative funding, it had top gainer and some top volume. So seeing those and also seeing this impulse above with increased volume and closing above Monday's high can also be a trigger, right? Like it's just more to add to your guys' arsenal that like, okay, this thing is negative funding. Top gainer, it's getting some of the most volume. It's just swept Monday's high. Volume's increasing on it. It's closing above Monday's high after the impulse. Like trigger, 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 trigger. Now some might be waiting for a retest and you might not get it all the time. But yeah, like just using the negative funding strategy I told you guys about, like it's 120% move. Like it's fucking crazy. It's absolutely crazy. There's been a lot of those plays too that have been going nuts with the negative funding from what I've been showing you guys. And then we have NC. And just put this indicator on. Just go scroll through every single chart and just look at it. Just look for triggers and how you could have played it. Like, right, sweeps, fails, comes up, tries again, sweeps, could be scalping all of these, and then, you know, there's probably triggers here on the 5-minute time frame, whatever, for a lower time frame flip. If you didn't get in there catching the momentum, wait for the trend to break, breaks, come down, give you the retest. If you even just waited for the retest, it's easy, simple play, it's 24%, right? So many opportunities for you guys to play these with Monday's range. And again, they will all just be alerted inside the Discord with indication of either sweeping the high or the low. So just put the indicator on, take 2 hours of your day, go back test, and you'll be blown away by how obvious the plays seem. Like whatever your TA triggers are, support, resistance, supply, demand, FVGs, fibs, POCs, whatever it is, like just go back test the strategy for like 2 hours and you'll see that you can play these flips and sweep projections all day long and print. I think this is a very underutilized bot, for myself included. Like I even go through all these examples and like, why am I not catching all of these crazy plays. They're not all going to work out exactly. That's why you back test and use your specific TA triggers and whatnot. But the opportunities are just ridiculous, like ridiculous. And then, like I said, if you pair the two, the sweeps with a 30-minute, that is a strategy in and of itself that will print you day in and day out. If you can just spend the time to find these, you'll make money every single day. Guarantee it. Like, guarantee it. And the best part is if you get these double triggers and then you actually flip it and you break the div so your RSI actually goes higher, then like it's such an easy play to continuation long with acceptance below, because you're literally breaking the momentum div that's telling you that this is losing momentum and flipping the level. Like it's just beautiful, beautiful triggers to take some plays. Yeah, so that's Monday's range. See if there's any questions again here. Same way we've been getting active in the gold chat with the funding rate plays and everything else that you guys are sending in there, which is great, by the way. Like I can't express this enough. Let's see here. After flipping Monday's range, what do you think is the best way to determine TPs? Again, it's gonna just come down to like basic TA, right? So I would say, so for instance, Fartcoin, there's nothing down here. Like this is at all-time low, so it's kind of like, you know, this gave a 20% move. Like you gotta at least be 75% out of that. Like take profits in this market because it's choppy as shit. Even though there's these big moves I'm showing you guys, like take profits. And the best part about this, by the way, too, is like you're playing in the middle here, which you also can. You can use mid-range as another level. You can see how it acts. You can see it hold here, and you can see it hold here. But at the same time, it's like a range. You don't want to play around in the middle too much because that's where it's choppy. Outside of that is the extremes where things can get better. So on this, like 20% move, you're 75% out. You got to be. But like, let's take a look at, who was the other one? I think Vine. Yeah. So again, you got to just use like general TA, right? Like you've got a 1 hour supply here, which we rejected from. You know, like if you got in here, you have this high that you, like you're going to want to take profit from, right? You get in here, you pump up to take that high. Like you should be taking profit well before 9% move or even 7% move in this market. But like just general TA, right? Sweeping highs, you're going to take more profit as it comes into this resistance. Let's see other ones that like went outside. So let's take a look at NC. So this was the supply that it was failing and rejecting from. And then if you got in, taking profits is definitely like subjective to each trader, right? Like you can even just take profits on like a 3% move your stops to break even at least. But like if you played the flip here, like again, these moves are huge. So it's like, even if this goes 3 to 5%, like you should be taking your TP1 and moving stops, and then, you know, take profit at these levels that are significant, you know, highs and lows, supplies and demands, things like that, or your EMAs or however you do it. Everybody's profit taking strategy is different, but if you're getting a 3 to 4% move, just take your TP1 and move stops, and then from there map out levels in which you can take more profits. Like this level here, this is like 8-9%. You can see we had trouble. Like you should be taking profits here because yeah, we do flip it. Take some more profits here. So if you took your TP1 at 3, 4, 5% up, beautiful, stops or break even, you're risk free. Take some more profits here where it could reject, but it didn't. Take some more profits here where it could reject, and it did. And right, like you would have taken profits beautifully on the way up, come back down, look to compound or do something else. But yeah, taking profits is basically just do it at different levels. So support resistance, supply demand, highs and lows, things like that is my recommendation too. Everyone takes profits differently, by the way. So if you're unsure of where to take profits and you're playing a flip, just shoot it in gold chat and you can go over it. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I just wanted to go over how active the gold chat has been. It's great. This is exactly what I want to see. Like what I want to facilitate is an environment where we are all literally catching plays all day, every day, even if it's all the same plays. Like there's no competition, there's no right or wrong. Like this is a market where we can all eat and we can all eat good. Like we are all playing these funding rate bots, like people are seeing them and shouting them out and we can all get in and stuff. Like we're all winning. Like this whole community is centered around seeing every single person in it win through the ups, through the downs. We're here to win together, and I want to really continue to facilitate all of the different strategies and things to look for inside of this gold chat, and continue to build the community in a sense where like every single person can catch plays every single day using these bots, whether on their own or through other members, and continue to learn. So I appreciate you guys getting active in gold chat, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Like the people who are helping build this community and stuff, there's always opportunities for future bot betas, for winning more from the giveaways, from future giveaways, things like that. So like we are going to give back to you guys just as hard as you give back to the community. Always remember that. Like I see everything. I'm in the chats 24/7. I see the people on socials. I see it all. The people who are willing to put in the time to build this community up, to help people, to support people, are the people who are going to end up with better opportunities. And that's just the way it goes, right? You help us, we help you. And that's the whole reason I want to do these streams with you guys. I want to keep building you up. I want to keep giving you the tools to succeed in this market day in and day out. Like infinite different ways that you can use these bots. And that's why I'm trying to go over every single one on these different calls, because everyone trades differently. So thank you guys for being active in gold chat, and let's continue to do that. Because there's so many more bots coming too. Like this is really like V1 of Woodsbot as a Discord overall. Like we've been around for a year, just over a year and a half now. You guys have no idea what's coming. Like this isn't it. This isn't like we've built this Discord and now we go from here. It's like there's so fucking much being built that you guys are just going to continue to be blown away. Continue to just absolutely print with the tools and bots, and we will continue to just make them easier and easier for you guys while continuing to teach you and support you along. So because we are nothing without you guys, right? Like you guys and the community is exactly what Woodsbot is. Like we do this for you guys, right? We are a community first Discord. Like we enjoy giving you guys the tools to see you succeed. Like that is our whole mission. That's what it's all about, right? So yeah, so that's Monday range. I'm gonna see if there's any more questions. Now's the time to ask. There's no stupid question. Like I didn't know what the fuck a stop loss was when I first started, and I got absolutely destroyed. And the only way I learned was asking, what is a stop loss? And as stupid as you may think it is, no one here has any judgment. Like just ask these questions because now is the time. Yeah, there's a few things. So like on Trader Taco's question, and honestly, guys, like we should straight up have some psychology streams as well. Like, yeah, TA is great and stuff, but like TA, you can sit down for a few hours and fucking figure it out. Like psychology is the difficult part. Psychology is where we run into the most problems, emotions, fear, greed, all of these things, FOMO. So in terms of your question, how you psychologically size up from hundreds or thousands, there's a few ways that I've done that in the past that have helped me. And one of those, I use what's called trade. I can't remember. What is the thing that we trade on, King? No, Trade Stream is like the tracker thing. Why? Yeah, Teal Street. Jesus. So I use Teal Street, and what is super sick about Teal Street is there is a switch, a toggle switch on there, and it's free to use. It takes a bit to learn, but there's a switch on there that'll change it from dollar amounts to percent. So it doesn't matter if you have $1 million port or a $10 port. If you're using proper risk management, in terms of, say, like, you're risking 2 or 3% on the play, and the play, you're on 20x and the play's up 5%, so it's up 100, and so you'd be up like 2 or 3% of your port. So it just focuses strictly on showing you a percent and not a dollar amount, and that is one psychological way that will completely eradicate you, because you would trade the same way on $1 million or $10 using proper risk management. But when you start seeing those bigger numbers in your mind and they're red or they're green, the only way you're going to get over that is to acclimate to seeing those numbers, right? And so to also do that, I suggest starting off smaller. Just go slow. If you're now moving from 4 figures into 5 figures or 3 figures into 4 figures, it's like start at the low end and just do 0.5 to 1% risk until you're psychologically comfortable with just executing based on the TA still and not the number, right? That's where it gets tricky. And then, so that goes into my second point, where don't look at your exchange. Do not look at your exchange. If you are executing a trade and the numbers are higher, look at your trading view chart. Just look at your trading view chart. Have your levels set in terms of your take profit and your stop loss, and do not look at your exchange, because it doesn't matter. And you know that because that's the problem you're having, is where you psychologically psych yourself out. Well, the red number's too big, or the green number's too big. If the red number's too big but the play's not invalidated, who fucking cares? Just look at the TA on your chart, and you will not psych yourself out with the number side of things. So that's a good one too, that you don't have to use a different exchange or whatever like that. So that one really, really helps. And then you are strictly executing on what you see on the charts. That's it. Which confluences do you look for when playing negative funding coins? I've been checking them lately and realized not all of them can pump, and that additional confluences is needed. Yeah, so what I suggest is take a look at the last stream, because I think it was the last stream. We went over how to play these and additional confluences inside of the Discord. The negative funding coins, honestly, I find that it's only the ones that are at the top. So if you go into funding rates, like it's the ones that are going to super pump are going to be anywhere from like 1.5 to 3% negative, right? Like these ones, sure, you can look for like general TA and whatnot, but like these ones, if you thing I love about this too is click low funding and then 15 minutes, come back, click it again, and it'll keep your last read so that you can look at the new read and say, okay, this one went, say, just for example's sake, went from 1.26 to 2, and it's been 50 minutes. It's like, okay, Michi's like heavily being pushed into negative funding. Like something is clearly happening to this coin, whether it's being manipulated or not. From there, you come over into here, look at your gainers and losers, go through like 1 minute, 5 minute, like see if Michi shows up on there. And for example's sake, let's just say like Michi's here. Come in, go to 5 minutes. Michi's like up here. Look at your 15 minute. You can see that Michi's like whatever up here, some shit. You can see that like, okay, this is like a top gainer. Funding is going more and more and more negative. So I should put attention to this. And then this is a bonus. If you come into here, click highest volume, and Michi shows up. Like you got to realize this is the top like 20 coins. Like if the volume is showing that it's one of the highest on here, which a lot of these heavily negative funding coins will show up here, like that's crazy. You got to realize like this is like Trump, Ondo, Pepe. Like if it's coming up on here, like this thing is getting volume. It's in the top gainers, and your funding rate. Again, you come into here, click it. Okay, maybe now it's like minus 2.5. You know that this is like shit's going down with this. And inside of Gold Chat. And for those of you who don't have access to the bots and who are thinking about it, Gold Chat is just where all of the people with access to the bots talk, and we share plays, we share analysis, we share breakdown. So this was one that I caught yesterday, actually, just looking last night. VVV, it had the top funding, and just strictly TA wise, this was a supply, flipped to Anobi, and then this was Monday's high, and it was flipping that. So it's like I took a play on that, caught a quick scalp for 7%, but immediately retraced. But just look at the top ones. I'm just trying to find, because I've been sharing in here for you guys every time I see one. Yeah, and they're all linked. So this was loose. Like this is the one we talked about here. That's Sweat Monday's high, but it just like went. So when you've seen it sweep Monday's high and closing above, you could have looked for other triggers. You could have seen that funding would have been heavily negative. But you can see here, this is showing up on the 1 hour volume. You've got your top gainers. It was showing up on multiple time frames. Your 4 hour, one of the second top gainer. And then funding was minus 2.5. So it's like, don't focus on like this shit. The only way that you would use these is like, yeah, sure, you could do some TA on them, play them, whatever. But for the strategy that I'm speaking about, where you catch these, is go into it and just, you know, click it after 30 minutes. If lit starts going from 0.4 into like 1, and then another 30 minutes goes to like 2, it's like, okay, that's something worth looking at. So here, those were all the triggers for loose. You can see 100% plus. Fourth was the day before that, 50% up. And this, like, these plays are happening during this shitty ass period that we've had for the last, you know, week, where things have been choppy. People are struggling. This is bad. But like, these opportunities are in this market every single day, and I'm giving you guys the tools to find them. 50% move. Fourth, showing minus 2% funding. Top gainers, and showing up on volume. So that was the 50% move. And another one, we had lit showing top gainers, low funding, minus 3%. These are the ones you're looking for. That's ridiculous. That's being manipulated. That's cooked. Like, it's not organic. And then you get these plays, right? Like, lit had a bunch of negative funding, which gave this move, which I think was like a 100% move. But then you had this range here, which was like a 40% range. And if you were checking the bot, you could see funding kept going more and more negative, and you got another 40% move. Just green, 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 and all the way up. So that is how I would approach the negative funding rate bot. And I would also watch the last stream that we had, because I go over that in like a lot of detail. And then just ask questions in gold when you see one. Just say like, okay, guys, I see this one's -2, it's showing up here, showing up here. Like, how should we play it? Is this worth playing? Let me know if that answers your question. Yeah, so that's a good point from King David as well. And that's why I say, like, every 15, 20 minutes, if you're going to play these funding ones or you're looking for them, keep clicking it every 15 minutes while keeping your last one in there. Because if it's doing the thing where it goes from -3 to -1.5, like, you don't want to play it. Like, funding's cooling off. The move has most likely played out. You may still get some, but the move that you're looking for on those charts I showed, that's 100%, 50%. That move is most likely played out. Catch you later, Taco. Thanks for coming, man. Coins funding history. I mean, I just use like Coinalyze to look at funding for coins, but I'm sure you could actually see it on CoinClass somehow. All right, any other questions on Monday range? Well, I'm here going over it. If not, I will show you guys a few of the bot trades that were given before this massive dump, where a lot of people, you know, got wrecked, got liquidated. But if you had access to our AI bot, you probably made a month or two's worth of profit. And that's why I'm trying to get you guys into this bot, by teaching you how to trade, by building you up with the tools inside of here, so you can continue to build up to that 1 million volume. Or you can join our Telegram group and market us on socials by liking, reposting, commenting, sharing your play breakdowns from the tools that I'm literally giving you here. Like, I'm handing you guys the keys to get into a position where you have access to the AI bot. And the AI bot's just, it's just fucked. Like, it's just crazy. I can't even explain it enough. But we'll go over that now. So take a look here. All right, so these were some plays, 3 plays given to members who had access to the AI bot, all on the same day. They were given on the 29th, I believe. So this is what the trades look like inside the Discord. you'll get a trade with an entry, DCA range denoted by these lines, come with a stop loss, and it'll come with a chart showing you. Now, we are also going to be implementing, right now we have a standard 5% stop loss. Soon we will be implementing dynamic stop losses, which will give you better stop loss placement in terms of it maybe not being 5% and giving you better risk to reward. And we will also be slowly implementing take profit levels on these. So it really is just a handheld process of put in your limits, set your stop loss, manage your risk as always, and there'll be take profits and things like that. So those are just updates coming. But this was the rune play. Play was given on the 29th. PA on the 29th is around here. So this was a short given to the members with access around this price area here. You set your limits, it came up, it filled, and you were riding this one for that giant nuke. And this ended up going 60%. And it ended up going 60% fast, as you know. So this was one play, just a pico fill, stress-free, instantly filled. Lots of them end up like this, with just like instantly beautiful fills. No sweat whatsoever, not all of them. You have SHIB here, same thing, just pico fill, right? You can see here, you got your chart, you got your DCA area and your stop loss. Literally all you do is set the trade, manage your risk. Literally that's it. So it gets filled. This one also gave you a 40% move. So it's 100% in moves just from the last two plays. This isn't going to happen every day, obviously, but like I'm just trying to show you guys that like our bot was looking for shorts actively throughout this whole move down. And if you had access to this, you're probably sitting in a position where you probably made the most profit you've made this entire year in a matter of a few hours, as opposed to most likely ending up getting wrecked or being sidelined. And then you had another one here, SEI. Comes up, a little bit of a sweatier play, holds though, and you get a move here again for 44%. So just absolutely insane. Sorry, this is the card here. So I just want to continue to show you guys, like, we offer V1 and V2 bots, and like they're so powerful. They're the videos and the streams that I'm showing you guys the tools for. But there's a whole other side of this Discord that you really, really, really should be striving to get access to, and that is the AI bot. Because this thing is continuing to learn every day, every second, every trade, every candle across the charts. It's analyzing, it's building, it's growing. It's AI, it's what it does. And the results from this thing are just getting crazy. And I want everyone to have access to this, because getting access to that is something that will literally actively change your life, right? Like it's the handheld version of trading where you just literally only have to manage your risks, and you can print ridiculous money and change your life. So like just always keep that at the forefront of your mind, that like your kind of roadmap should be like, okay, whether I am successful or just beginning, it's like I have the tools from the V1 and V2. They're giving me the education and the system to build myself up as a trader, as well as the community. From there, I should be focusing and grinding every single day to make that happen, so I can get access to the AI bot. And I mean, there's two ways, like I said. You can do 1 million per month in volume, and that sounds daunting, but it's really not. With leverage, I'm not saying crank the leverage up, but like if you have a port of like $2,000 to $5,000 and you're just trading actively using what I'm giving you guys here, you can make that happen. And then the other way is through the Telegram that we have, which is a marketing Telegram where we share all of our posts onto Twitter into there. You need to like, you need to repost, you need to comment, you need to be actively supporting us as a brand, and then also just posting your own plays from the tools we're giving you guys in here, showing the plays that you're taking, what you've learned, things like that. And the more that you support the brand, the more opportunities you're going to have to win future giveaways, to get access to the AI bot, to get access to beta bots when they first come out, things like that. So as always, this community, the more you help us, the more we're going to help you. We're always looking out for our members, and we will never stop building. But yeah, we'll wrap that stream up there and just do questions. Can be general questions on anything, trading, psychology, the bots, whatever it is. And if there's nothing, then we'll just call it, guys. So just let me know. And as always, like let me know if these are helpful. What else you guys want to see? Like any bots you want me to go over? Yeah, no problem, bro. Happy to help. Happy to do this. Happy to help, Matoshi. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I see Doflamingo catching some plays from the funding rate stuff. Big plays too, so love to see that. No problem, Leffa. Happy to hear. If you're looking to get access to, I'd say go ahead and do it. And you can even watch the other streams. I think there was 3 before this where we go over all the other bots, as well as there's the YouTube where you can see everything broken down for what you get. So I'd say take a look through that. And if you're interested, like definitely take the leap. The community inside of the Gold chat is super active. People sharing plays every single day on these tools, breaking down what we're teaching here, building each other up. So same with you, Monk. Yeah, absolutely. Like David said, if you're pushing that amount of volume, you'll probably get access to the AI bot relatively quickly. So definitely go ahead and do that. Yeah, no problem, Zede. Happy to hear. Happy to hear. Cheddar, appreciate you. Panda, appreciate you as well. And like I said, guys, like we'll run through all the tools and stuff, and then I do think eventually we can start doing some like psychological streams because I do think just building everyone up as a community and talking about these things and like I'm only giving my experience, my side of things. I've only been trading, I think, coming up on like 2 years, like leverage and whatnot. So like I'm no expert, I'm not some dude who's just figured it all out, but like using Woodsbot tools now for the last year and a half, alongside just my personal training and learning from Woods. He was like my first mentor and shit. I've learned a lot, and so like the same way that like Woods taught me back in the day and was just like actively giving back to people. It's like I'm happy to be doing that with you guys here, and I'm happy to be just like going through this journey with you guys. Like I said, I'm not some millionaire, super crazy, successful dude, and I will be one day. There's no doubt about that, and I hope you all will be too. And it's like if we all just stick this out together, we push for this next 12 to 18 months specifically during this period where we have the opportunity of a lifetime, like we can really change our lives. So yeah, I'm down to talk psychology. I'm down to talk TA. I'm always in the chats. I'm always here to help. I'm always here to go over plays and whatnot. And yeah, man, let's make our dreams a reality. So if there's no other questions, I think we'll just end it here. It's a good hour, 10-minute stream. I appreciate you guys coming out, showing support every single time, asking questions, being willing to learn. Like I said, let's just stay active in that Gold chat. Let's continue to build each other up, and let's just kill this shit. Yeah, appreciate you, Monk. Appreciate you. Hope to see you in Gold, man. Kaladin, you as well. Good to see you here. Hope to see you in Gold. We'll be around in chats, guys. Let's have a good week.